This you can bear. You stood right beside me, yeah, and I'll forget. I really love you. You should know. I'm gonna make sure I'm right, boy, before I let go. Now we got a good time that we can spend. Hello, everybody. It's your girl, Mitch Almighty, and I'm here with my E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher t-shirt on. I can, I will, and I must. Boom. There it is. One of my favorite t-shirts to wear, even though I haven't been wearing my t-shirts a lot lately. So you see I had to get a little Beyonce turn up in there. Woo, woo, homecoming. This video here today is going to be about the Queen Supreme Court, if you hadn't noticed from the title. So I attended a live taping of the Queen Supreme Court back in, I want to say November. The DC show. I happened to be going to DC for a fundraising event for a scholarship I was a part of. Yes, I know. And I noticed that the Queen Supreme Court was going to be there live. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to see T.S. Madison and Funky Dineva live. So this is not going to be a digging video about them, but a more honest review of that show. And I made this video a while ago, but I had an old phone, and that phone would not let me record and upload my videos. So I want to still make this video now, even though it's months after, because I see that the Queen Supreme Court live show is still going around the nation, and certain people are having issues and whatnot. And I feel like, why not give your 2 cents? First things first, T.S. Madison, Dineva, and Tiffany Pollard were amazing in person. They were beautiful. They look exactly like they look on camera, number one. The energy was great, phenomenal. So I actually went with a friend that I have in DC. He is a gay male. So I figured that he had never heard of them, but I figured that we would have a good time together because it was like all in the spirit, and you know, it'd be the whole gay culture thing together. I've been following Funky Dineva for years. I can't even count how many years, probably 4 years. So I'm very familiar with all of his videos, the shows he reviewed, and his act pretty much. And I didn't learn about T.S. Madison till maybe about a year and a half ago, right when her and Kaya kind of had blew up, right before everything hit the fan. I was super disappointed by that, but I just still was a fan. And to be honest, I kind of hated it, but afterwards, I did watch Queen Supreme Court more than I watch Gag Order, because I like things to be set up and structured very well. And Kaya was like going live whenever she felt like it. And truth be told, she kind of burnt that bridge, but maybe she just didn't want it. You know, maybe she didn't like she was afraid of the commitment and afraid that it was going to fail, so she self-sabotaged. But I'm getting off topic. So, you know, I wanted to get VIP tickets. So number one, they usually have VIP versus regular tickets. I wanted to get VIP with my friend. He wasn't familiar with the group, you know, with Queen Supreme Court. And he's like, I'm not trying to pay the VIP price. Big mistake. Because VIP people, it's, you know, you actually get to sit down. So because it was at a club, the venue was set up with chairs, and you just say like a regular bar, and they kind of created a stage. So we got there late. And when I say late, we got there on time, which means that in order for you to successfully position yourself to where you can see, as well as get a seat, but the seat was only for VIP, so I don't think we were entitled to a seat anyway. But if there were spare seats, we were way out of the chance of getting them because we got there on time. We couldn't see. We had to struggle to see. So these are things to consider before purchasing a ticket, because the venue. So obviously, T.S. Madison and her crew, Dineva, they don't know exactly how the venue is going to be because they're not from the state. They only can go by hearsay. And that particular venue was small, and they pack the house out because they're popular and they give a great show. So if you're considering going to a live taping is coming to your town, I would say go for the VIP ticket. They also gave the VIP, like I think a cupcake or something. I was a little bit jealous, but I was more so concerned with being able to see. They got a cupcake and they got chairs. But also, if you're a VIP and you come late, you stand a chance of standing up as well, because they may not have the exact amount of seats for the amount of VIP tickets they sell, because it's a business. They're trying to sell stuff and they're not exactly organized and cohesive with the venue enough, because that venue was too small. Hopefully, going forward, since that show, they're being a little more deliberate in what venues they select, because that place was packed. And, you know, I worked on my temper and anger over time, but I could tell my friend was done. And me, I'm kind of tall, so I just kind of like navigated and found myself a good spot where I could see over some people's heads. But I really couldn't see the people's faces I wanted to see the entire show, which kind of ruined it. So again, I repeat, get there early, as in like an hour, go like you going to happy hour, like 7. I don't remember what time it started, but like I would say at least an hour and a half beforehand. Sit with whoever you're with, have a drink, get your position, and just sit there and wait in the empty bar. And also go ahead and get the VIP, because depending on whatever venue they select, you may not be able to get a seat at all, and it may be reserved for VIP guests only. Now, getting to the show, this was the show where everyone was saying that Dineva was being a little spicy with T.S. Madison. And it's so funny that all those videos are going around, because I was thinking that exact thing. Like, Dineva was saying some really smart stuff. But as you know, they have good friendships. I'm sure that T.S. Madison and Funky Dineva are taking the proper precautions to make sure they do not have any more fallouts with a business relationship that's also friendship. Because Dineva has had his share, y'all know, with Michelle, and T.S. Madison has obviously had her share with Kaya. So I feel like they were definitely going to, and Dineva was definitely going, you know, New York, where I felt like she was about to cry, but maybe like it felt real, because he was like making fun of her for kissing Flavor Flav and making it seem like she was just kissing some crusty man. It was kind of bold. He was going low, but I had a good time overall, because I know how to be a good spirit about stuff. We left early because I had on heels, and I honestly didn't anticipate standing that long, and it was so crowded, and it just was a lot of people around, just sweaty and drunk, and you know, you couldn't really see. I'll make this short, so to make sure you guys know. So if you do intend to go to a show, those are the things that you need to keep in mind. Know that it will be a great show. There were some hiccups in the show. It's definitely not friendly, like smooth, like how the live shows go, because like they had to do mic check, you know, they have to figure out wardrobe, they may have malfunctions, they had to get people quiet, they had to get people out of the way, because like I said, it was so packed. The show started late because people were crowding the space that was the stage, and it's like, okay, they can't come out if you guys are around the stage. I'm sure it's fire codes, all that were broken. So if you if you're a person who cares about your safety when you're in the club, and this could be very much true, because someone could have experienced a traumatic experience and they don't want to be in a claustrophobic or PTSD, and I care about my safety, but you know, I wasn't really thinking about it. But now that I think about it, like, it was definitely all the fire hazards and codes were broken because that place was at capacity. Think about all of that before going. Know there may be delays, and they definitely have to edit the shows a lot to post it, because they go on tangents, they start singing, which is fun, because you know, you want to see your favorite members of the Supreme Court do their little bits that they often do, but it wouldn't look well if they like transferred it to YouTube. It would look, the sound would be bad. Sometimes they go off stage, you can't see them because people are in the way, or the cameraman just didn't get them. So live show is definitely more ordered and better for film than the you know, the live taping they do on YouTube, as opposed to when they go to your town and do it. And that's why you see it's like 38 minutes or 40 minutes. Well, usually the Queen's Supreme Court is at least an hour and a half, hour, 12 minutes. They have to edit so much out because of that. All in all, I recommend going to see the Queen's Supreme Court live. T.S. Madison was beautiful in person. Funky Dineva, beautiful in person. And whoever else they have as a guest. Honestly, those are the two I'm most familiar with. I don't know if New York has still been going with them, so I haven't said her. But also, she's beautiful in person as well. I'm not too critical of a person, so, you know, all love for everybody. I had a blast. Dineva was actually how I got connected to T.S. Madison, because I got connected to other YouTube vloggers through him who reviewed the same shows as him, and then eventually I led to T.S. Madison. And of course, that world, that YouTube streets, they are all connected, and they all kind of like, eventually that's how we got the Queen Supreme Court featuring Dineva, so we get to have him on his page as well as that page. But anyway, toodles. Until next time, bye.